Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Weekly Coldplay. My name is Monica.
And my name is Daniel.
And we are a weekly podcast all about...
You guessed it.
Wicked. Okay, listen.
Monica's just crazy. Like, we can't even... There's not even a convoluted reason.
I'm so
It's not like when Hugh Jackman, was actually doing a thing with Coldplay.
Well, okay, but Wicked is out in theaters. Okay, and everyone should watch it, and everyone should watch Wicked and listen to the soundtrack.
That's so... It's still not connected to Coldplay, but...
It doesn't have to be.
I know.
Okay.
Look, I just bought tickets to go see it.
Yeah, and I'm coming with.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
I'm so excited. Anyway, I love this musical. I've loved this musical for 20 years of my life. So, that's all. Anyway, what we're really going to talk about is, it's not about this Daniel. It's about the other Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel LaRusso, Ralph Macchio. We're talking about the Karate Kid music video.
By the way, I am sorry to everyone who missed us last week.
Oh, yeah.
I was sick.
I was also sick. I was also stuffy too. So.
But we were at work the day we were going to record, and I was like, I am dying.
Yeah.
And Monica is my boss and made me go home.
Yeah, I was like, go home.
I drank half a bottle of NyQuil and slept a lot.
Oh my God.
I did not drink that much NyQuil.
Okay.
That was an exaggeration.
Yeah, as you can see, that Daniel's here with us.
You can drink a whole bottle of NyQuil and it won't kill you.
No, okay, do not. I am not condoning this behavior. Anyway, but we are talking about the Karate Kid music video. So we have 2 weeks of notes to catch up on. 2 weeks of... Well, only 1 week of tour news.
No, there's 2 weeks of tour news.
Oh, 2 weeks of tour news.
Because they're Sydney Night 4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Only 1 week of spoilers and speculations, but hey.
Yay. That's something. That's more than nothing.
This time it's actually spoilers, not just speculations.
Oh.
What could there be to spoil?
Okay. Okay. So, the Karate Kid music video. That just came out. It was on Tuesday, right? I was off.
It was on Tuesday because I forgot about it, and then at lunch, my partner came to work to sit with me for lunch, and my dad texted me a link to the music video because he was like, I love this so much.
I love that. It's cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was released. So the gist of the music video, if you haven't seen it, it was filmed in Melbourne, and I keep wanting to say Daniel LaRusso, and
it's Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, Ralph Macchio
playing some guy who's down on his luck.
Busker.
Buskers are the cornerstone of our civilization.
Yeah,
and he's on the ropes. All right, he's really struggling. Mm-hmm. And no one wants to hear what he has to say, and then he gets these tickets, and then he gets the chance to make his dream come true.
Yeah, he gets tickets in exchange for
his watch and the toy.
Yeah, the toy.
His watch and the toy.
Like the squirrel thing.
Well, it's just the watch first, and the guy's like, the watch isn't enough. Give me the toy squirrel too, and then we got a deal.
Yeah, and then he walks away super pleased with the squirrel or whatever it was. He dances a little bit. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get more into the dancing.
I just get really excited about it.
I know. Yeah, if you know Monica, you know why.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I don't think these people know me enough to know why.
Well, you're about to.
Yeah. So, super cute music video. I'm obsessed with it. I mean, yeah, it's adorable. And also, at the end, because for the majority of the song, it's Ralph lip singing the song, and then at the very end, mixed into the actual song is Ralph actually singing, so they have that mixed together.
Yeah, which I didn't notice at first, and then I saw the clip on the Jimmy Kimmel show, and then I was able to hear it in that clip.
Yeah, yeah. I know when I watched it, but yeah, I was like, that part doesn't sound like Chris.
Well, you have better ears than me.
Yeah, well, you know.
Wow. Okay, you can finish the podcast yourself. I'm gonna walk home.
All right. Yeah, I like the music video a lot. It's really cute. What are your thoughts on the music video as a whole?
I liked it. It was a very fun night. I mean, I love The Karate Kid. It is one of my favorite Moon music songs, and for obvious reasons. I think part of it is just it was so special to get to see not just the live debut for an audience, but like the first time the band played it together.
Yeah.
It's gonna have a special place in my heart forever and ever and ever.
Same.
Yeah. So this is the 4th music video for Moon Music, right? Because there's Feels Like I'm Falling in Love, Feels Like I'm Falling in Love, Film for the Future, All My Love.
The Zerb.
Oh, I forgot about Zerb, so this makes it the 5th. Because there's Zerb, All My Love, lyric video. And then Karate Kid. This is the 5th one.
Yeah.
Where does this rank for you among the Moon music videos?
Okay, I think my favorite out of all of them is going to be Feels Like I'm Falling in Love. That's my number 1. I think this might be ranked number 3. So it's gonna be Feels Like Falling in Love, All My Love, and then Karate Kid for me.
Which Feels Like I'm Falling, like the main one?
Yeah, the main one.
So for me, Feels Like I'm Falling in Love, the main one and the Film for the Future, they're in the top 2 spots, and I can't decide which one goes where.
Yeah.
So those two, they hold, because I love the Film for the Future version. It surprises me that one's not in your top 3.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So those two, then All My Love, then Karate Kid.
Yeah.
The Zerb one's at the bottom. Not that I don't like the Zerb one.
Yeah, I think that one's really cute. I enjoy that one a lot.
Yeah.
I think also, first of all, we need to bring back all the members in the music video.
We had all the members in the Feels Like I'm Falling in Love music video. And we had all the members in no, I guess
that's it. Yeah. But I meant like the members like doing stuff, like the hardest part or or talk, right?
I think it should be like one of the story videos like All My Love or Karate Kid, but they all play like a skit. They should do a skit.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
No, but now I just want to see them do a skit. It doesn't even have to be a music video. They should do improv theater together.
No.
Yes, please.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. How do you feel about the implications of an overarching Coldplay cinematic universe? Because Nigel, separate from Chris, showed up in the Karate Kid music video. There are 2 separate people in the Coldplay universe. And Nigel and Chris, they're both in this music video.
Yeah. But also, they're not in the same room at the same time.
How do you think they managed to film it without Nigel and Chris ever meeting? Because Chris still insists he's never met that guy. So, I mean...
I can't with this.
How deep does it go? Is Electric Universe in the Coldplay
Will Wolverine and Deadpool show up? How does this fit into Endgame?
I don't watch Marvel. You've lost me. I just care about the Coldplay.
God.
The Coldplay.
The Coldplay, yeah. Anyway. I have no comment for it.
I gave you days to prepare a comment on this.
Yeah, no, and I have none. I think it's silly. I mean, sure, you know what? Yes, I want Nigel to show up in more music videos, and that's really it.
Think Nigel should be like just an Easter egg everywhere.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
I agree with that.
I think you should dress up as Nigel.
No.
Then there was the Ralph Macchio Jimmy Kimmel interview, which now we have both seen.
Yes. Basically, and then this also goes along with a reel that, reel/TikTok, that Coldplay had put out of Ralph explaining.
The reel is so little of a percent of it. I don't know if you realize how little, because like the reel's only the first 1 minute and the TikTok is 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
So when I watched the TikTok, I was like, oh man, I missed all of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like Gene Kelly is not mentioned in the reel.
Oh. Well, okay. But it's the story of how Ralph had heard about the Karate Kid by the Coldplay.
The Karate Kid by the Coldplay.
Yeah. Was his son introduced him to the song. His son is a big Coldplay fan and had heard like, hey, there's this song, it's something about the Karate Kid. Chris Martin was in Brooklyn, and here just listen to the song. And then when Ralph had listened to it, he was like really like taken aback.
He first saw the clip of just the piano bit and he really loved the melody. Mm-hmm. And he was like, when did this come out? It couldn't have been when the movie came out because he would have been 7 years old.
Yeah.
And so he's like looking it up and he finds it on YouTube and then he watches a lyric video of it. Mm-hmm. And it goes from like, oh, this is a nice song and it references this movie to these lyrics are really moving and meaningful to me. Mm-hmm. And so we decided to post about it.
Yeah.
On his Twitter and his Instagram.
Yeah, which we have mentioned
so that
here.
The people who follow him can find out about it because it's so special and he felt like people needed to hear it. And then he got contacted by Coldplay's management team and they said, hey, Chris M. wants to talk to you.
That guy.
And then he kept getting missed FaceTime calls from Chris. And then Chris was like, well, when can you FaceTime? And he said, give me 10 minutes. Yeah. And then 10 minutes later, Chris called him. With an idea for a music video. It was like, hey, do you want to direct it? You have to be in it. You have to come to Australia next week.
Yeah, it was like this whole thing. And meanwhile, Ralph is like doing promo for Cobra Kai, for like the newest season of Cobra Kai. Mm-hmm. So he's super busy. But, you know, Chris is just like, no, come to Australia, come do this music video, come do all these things. But, you know, Ralph did make time in his very busy schedule to go be in this cute little music video.
Yeah, he was saying, this is a quote from him from the Coldplay TikTok, but he said, he's just so persuasive and spirited and inspired and lovely and complimentary. So he had to go be part of the music video.
Yeah, and also about like the Gene Kelly thing in the TikTok, Ralph had mentioned that he wanted to be Gene Kelly as a kid, and that inspired the little dancing scene. Like Chris was like, "Okay, well, you could be Gene Kelly, and you can dance and do all these things." And then you know, Ralph was like, "No, I really like the busker idea and all that." But like, I'm just letting y'all know that I really love Gene Kelly. That's all. I mean, listen, when Cry 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 came out, right? Oh, first of all, yesterday. Because we're filming this on Saturday. Yesterday was like the 5-year anniversary of when Everyday Life came out.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah. Anyway, so whenever I first heard Cry Cry Cry.
When you first cried.
Yes, whenever I cried. When I first listened to that song, and I heard Chris go, you know, where a sing it is to rain. I screamed. I paused and then I screamed because I love singing in the rain so much.
It sounded just like this.
Listen. I just really love musicals. Anyway. So if I see any, you know, cross contamination between the two things I love, Coldplay and Gene Kelly, I get really excited.
That's the
all.
two things.
Yeah, those are the only two things in this life that I love.
Hugh Jackman's not important to you.
No, absolutely not. Listen, I already got my cross-contamination with that.
Okay, the last quote from the Coldplay TikTok I wanted to touch on was, it was a clear your desk moment. Just Ralph Macchio was like, all right, I guess I'm going to do whatever this British man tells me to right now. But anyway, back to the Jimmy Kimmel show. He said, even to this day, Chris just won't stop FaceTiming him. And it's getting a little bit annoying. He thought it was a one-and-done deal. But now Chris is stalking him, and then it turns out Chris was in the audience wearing a headband, just following him around.
Yeah, looks super cute.
But he said, I'm just thrilled to be stalked by Chris Martin. And this was actually really sweet. He was like talking about the song coming into existence, and he said, I inspired some kid named Chris Martin at 7 years old, and here we are.
Anyway. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, that's our headliner. All right, straight into other news. Very important. Guy Berryman modeled.
Very important.
Oh my God. Guy Berryman, the bassist for Coldplay, had modeled for Numero Netherlands.
Ooh. If you have not seen these pictures.
Daniel, okay, here's the thing. Okay, Daniel isn't very into Guy. I mean, I'm not saying that he hates Guy.
I don't even dislike Guy. Just of the four, I find him the least interesting.
Yeah.
And Monica hates me for this.
Yeah. I love Guy Berryman.
Yeah, Monica doesn't speak to me because of this.
Yeah, I mean, I was like in the back working, and then Daniel just comes up to me. He was like, whenever I looked at those photos, ooh. I'm like, oh, all right, Guy Berryman. Finally.
He's fine.
Period. That's the end of that sentence.
I'm very gay, and he's very pretty.
Yeah. True.
Fliffle was named one of the best songs of 2024 by Apple Music. They put it at song number 21.
Yeah.
Which is 3 times 7.
Oh my God. Nominated for Major Tour of the Year and Rock Tour of the Year at the 36th Gold Star Awards. I don't know why that TH wouldn't come out.
The winners will be announced in January of next year.
Oh,
so
my
we
goodness.
got some time to wait.
Yeah, what? Okay. Well, congrats to Coldplay for the nomination. I hope they win.
Yeah. Coldplay are playing their biggest shows ever, in Ahmedabad. I think I pronounced that
Yeah,
right.
I think that's correct.
Originally, it was on January 25th, and then they added a second date, January 26th. Both sold out already, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, just announced, Coldplay had released a limited edition red 7-inch vinyl of All My Love / The Karate Kid. Woohoo! Which is available for pre-order right now. It'll make you go just like that. It's so pretty. I ordered one. Of course I did.
I also ordered one.
Yeah.
And I'm not a completionist like Monica's. I don't know why I just made the same sound you make when you're looking at Hugh Jackman shirtless.
Because it's the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's a signed drum skin by all 4 members of the band up for auction on eBay, starting at £500 to raise money for Just Life UK's homelessness services. There's still, by the time this comes out, there will still be about 4 days left on the auction, so get your bids in. If you're a blind guy, this will make sense later, but this is how you can get a drum skin. Drum head.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Jack Cochran from the band The Snoots, I hope I pronounced that.
I don't know. I'd never heard of them before.
He said that people who don't like Coldplay are uncool and pretend they're too cool to enjoy them. Yeah, very real, very real. I'm going to go ahead and say the next one because I'm very excited about it.
I forgot what it is. Oh, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't take that from you.
Okay. One of my favorite actresses, Toni Collette. I love her. She had posted, I follow her on Instagram, and she had posted on her Instagram stories. It was like this video of Chris during, it was like 2009, I think, when they were in Australia, in Sydney, for the benefit. It was a charity show.
Yeah, I forget what it was called. I should have put it in, but
yeah, that's fine. Toni had mentioned how she wasn't able to go see Coldplay in her hometown because she was filming something, but she had remembered this moment because she was there at the Sydney show in 2009, and it was the video of when Chris had ran into the crowd during Fix You. And yeah, she was just saying that, Chris Martin is a legend, and that's so real of her. And I love you, Toni Collette, if you're listening. I love you so much. We're birthday twins, so happy belated birthday. And Yeah, I've seen everything that you've been in. Okay,
Maybe
that's
she also got a Coldplay tattoo on her birthday.
Maybe.
Hey, Toni Collette, if you got a Coldplay tattoo on your birthday, you should send Monica a picture.
Yeah, then I'll get that same tattoo.
All right. Oh, I'm excited to talk about this one because it's very fun to me. Okay, so there was this guy named Matt Heath. Mm-hmm. He's a host for News Talk, and he went to the first Eden Park show on November 13th, on Wednesday, so that he could review it. And then the next morning, he reviewed it on air. Pretty glowing review, obviously, because the tour is so great. And who should be listening to this review but Christine Mary Martin?
Oh my God.
And he tracked the guy down to send him tickets for the Saturday show. So he was like, oh, cool, free tickets. I'll go with my partner. And then he and his partner, I think his partner is Taylor. Not important. He and his partner go to the show, and they find out, they tell them, you have friends and family tickets, so here you get to go to this special friends and family section. And they're like, we're mingling with band members before the show, and they ended up chatting with Chris, the manager, for a while. And then Chris, the manager, was like, hey, the band want to meet you, so can you guys come backstage? And they go backstage, and here's a quote. Then the band come out, and then Chris Martin comes up to me, and he gives me a big hug and whispers in my ear. And then another quote, he gives me a cuddle and goes, I heard your review, and thank you so much. They talk a little bit about how Chris is a tall guy and very good at cuddling.
Oh my God.
In the full radio bit about this. And also in the original review, Matt Heath had described Chris as punchable, and Chris said, I loved your review even though you described me as punchable at the start. Which, to be fair, Chris Martin is quite punchable.
Yeah.
He's not the most punchable person I know, but he's up there.
Yeah. But, we mean that in a very lovingly way. Like, how I'm looking at a rack of plushies right now, I want to punch those plushies. In a lovingly way.
Yeah. And then Matt Heath got recruited to throw balloons into the crowd, and he thinks maybe he messed it up a little bit. But he said about Chris, I would follow that guy into battle. Also, he got to sit a few seats away from Chris Martin's dad. Jin was on the Jimmy Fallon show being interviewed about his new album. It's called Happy, I think, right?
Yeah.
And Jimmy Fallon was talking about how there seemed to be a lot of rock influences in this album, and asked, who's your favorite rock band? And he said Coldplay was his favorite rock band. He really loves Coldplay. And he told the story about how he got a guitar from Chris, which is they were hanging out and Chris had a guitar from the tour, and Jin was just jokingly like, hey, can I have that? And Chris Martin was like, yeah, of course you can. I gave it to him, and now he keeps it as a treasured heirloom, and Jimmy Fallon is quite jealous. He was saying, I've known Chris longer than you. And then he was telling Jin to get some other member of BTS to give him a saxophone, I think, was the rest of the bit.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, I don't get it, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, okay. I'll tell you. One of the members of BTS was playing the saxophone whenever Jin had come home from being in the army. He was just walking out and he just started playing the sax.
I'm imagining Careless Whisper.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but that's what I remember. I remember talking to Mariah about it.
Of course. Mariah should come guest on our podcast.
Yeah.
Edgar's not allowed.
All right, and the last thing is that, so yesterday Daniel and I we were grocery shopping in Kroger.
Yes.
And then we hear a soft piano.
I was midway through a sentence and I stopped talking and both of our heads turned at the exact same time.
To each other. Whipped.
It was simultaneous. So I don't know how deep you, dear listener, have gotten into Coldplay's discography, but there is a B-side cover of a Christmas song called 2,000 Miles. I typed it wrong.
Yeah, I know.
I was adding a whole extra 1,000 miles. 2,000 Miles, which I love that song.
Yeah, it's
I
so
listen
good.
to it a lot. Yeah. I listened to it a lot, actually, when I moved to Colorado, and
wow.
I would miss people. And, I mean, it was not quite 2,000 miles, but I'd be in Colorado and there'd be snow, and I'd be listening to 2,000 Miles, like, oh, I miss Monica.
It's very far through the snow. But yeah, they just played that at Kroger, and I turned to Dave like, put that in notes. In notes.
It was not the original; it was the Coldplay version, which I like better.
Yeah.
I do think it is a little funny to me that Chris Martin changed the pronouns in the song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The original, it's like he, him, and Chris decided to keep it straight.
Well, it was Coldplay from way back when. So
no, but I like it. I like it that way. I like the song. It sounds pretty. I hear children singing. It must be Christmas time.
Yeah.
Children only sing during Christmas time.
Yeah, that's the news.
That's the news.
Tour news. All right. So this was at some point in Sydney. I don't know
Possibly night 2.
Yeah, possibly night 2. I don't know. But in Sydney, there was a tribute to Liam from One Direction, Liam Payne from One Direction, who sadly had just recently passed away. They did so. I mean, I'm sure you know, listener. He had arrow tattoos on his arm, and so the lights at the show, the wristbands had formed those arrows in the crowd. So it was a very sweet tribute that the band had did for him.
And then in Sydney night 4, Chris invited a fan dressed as a unicorn up on stage to sing A Sky Full of Stars.
So now I know what I have to wear.
Very me-core, honestly, to dress as a unicorn.
Yeah.
They did Don't Panic songbook. So the story for songbook, Sydney night 4, also to explain what I was talking about earlier, there was a guy in the crowd with a sign that said, "Drumstick for blind guy, please." And then Chris was like, "Hey, we've never had a blind person on stage before. Why don't you come up?" And helped him up and gave him a hug and brought him up and was saying, the guy had a business card. He was a journalist. Chris was like, "Oh, you have another sign. What's the other sign?" The guy said, it said "Drum head for blind guy, please." And Chris was like, "Oh, you're pushing it a bit, mate, but here's some drumsticks for you." And then he played Don't Panic, and they sang it together.
Jazzy K sang her original verse for nights 3 and 4 for We Pray. And then during God Put a Smile Upon Your Face, Chris had sang a little bit of Goosebumps by Travis Scott. Somebody there had a sign that said, that said to play a different Travis Scott song that I cannot think of right now, which as a Houstonian, that's a little bit shameful. But
it's fine. I think I've never heard a Travis Scott song in my life.
Yes, you have. Yeah, you have.
Like what?
I heard those Goosebumps every time.
I hadn't heard it before the Chris video.
Oh my goodness. Okay. No, okay. Michael would play the KK slider version because it's not safe for work, so we had the KK slider version on the okay.
I liked your playlist better.
Well, I'm just saying that you have heard it before.
Okay, it's been in my sphere of influence.
Yes. Anyway,
I just wasn't
hey, on Spotify, definitely listen to the KK slider version of Goosebumps by Travis Scott. Yeah. And then Travis Scott had also posted, with a quote tweet of that video saying, "This got it," with little goat emoji. So that's super cool.
Eden Park posted, "Eden Park is ready for the best and biggest band in the world," leading into the Auckland shows. And then there was an exclusive Auckland t-shirt design by a Maori artist that was only available to purchase at Eden Park. It looks so cool.
It was so pretty.
I am very jealous.
All right, Auckland, night 1. Up and Up was the songbook, and Chris needed to use the lyric book.
With the number of times he picks that one, too. That's probably what it was there for, was like, I love picking Up and Up, and I don't know the words. I bet it's just Up and Up in the lyric book.
Yeah. Gosh.
So they had a guest group called Shone on to do the We Pray Haka version all 3 nights. there's a very cool warm-up video on Instagram, and on night 1, Chris stopped the song to say that the guest verse was so effing good. He needed to hear it again and made them do it a second time.
Auckland Night 2. Y'all, what I love with Soundchecked.
Coldplay knows Coldplay songs? What are you talking about? I don't believe.
Which apparently they used. I know that I want to say like last year or maybe 2 years ago they soundchecked One I Love, and then apparently during the Head Full of Dreams tour they soundchecked it a lot, but I was not following that Head Full of Dreams tour. Yeah. But I want them to play that song live. That's all. I love that song.
The songbook for Auckland Night 2 was magic. There was a fan with a sign that said, "Your music woke me up from a coma. Can we come sing a song together to celebrate this magic?" Or it was something along those lines. And the story was he had an incident where his heart stopped and he hit his head really badly and he was in a coma for several days. And the doctors were speaking with his family and his husband about having to possibly pull the plug soon. And they thought either he was going to die or he would be permanently brain damaged. And someone had come in like about 3 days in and asked his husband, what can we do to make him more comfortable? And they said, oh, well, let's play Coldplay because that's the only thing he's loved his whole life since he was 8 years old. And they put it on. And like 24 hours into Coldplay playing, the very first sign that he was waking up from the coma was that he started playing air piano along with the music. And that was like the turning point where all the doctors started to realize, oh, we think he's going to be okay. We think he might wake up. And then he got to go meet Chris Martin, and they sang together, and he harmonized with Chris Martin.
Yeah, it was very beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then lastly, Sean had joined the band for Fix You for night 2.
Yeah, Auckland Night 3, songbook was Everglow. And there was a guest vocalist song called Power, and other than that, like little tidbit, I couldn't find any information about this.
Yeah.
Because, so it says We Pray with Sean and guest vocalists, and then I think those same guest vocalists did a song called Power, but I couldn't find any video or information about it. If you have any, we'd love for you to send it our way.
Yeah. And then also for some of the Auckland shows, I don't know for what night it was, but I saw this TikTok of a couple of fans who got chosen to like do the greeting for, hey everybody, welcome to the stage, Coldplay, all that. They had made an entire TikTok about it. It's incredible because I didn't know how this process happened at all, but they were just saying how, they got approached by people, asked if they spoke Maori, and they did, and then they got taken backstage, and as they were leaving, they, to go back to their spot where they were, their seats got upgraded to, VIP, and they got to do a bunch of stuff, really cool, behind the scenes stuff that I didn't know that you got to do whenever you get chosen.
Yeah. They at some point ran into or got to meet the band also.
Yeah.
They walked past Iris Star, Superstar, Iris Star.
I just that's my dream, and that's one of my goals for the tour next year.
Weren't you just saying how you could not do it?
No, I can do it. I can do it. No, listen, I pretty much memorized the script anyway.
It's okay. I'll hold your hand, and then we'll get through it.
Yeah, it was going to be very clammy.
That's okay.
Yeah, if any of the members lock eyes with me, I'm gonna scream.
Just don't do it into the microphone.
Yeah, but I'll add the TikTok in the description because it's a really cool insight that I just didn't realize was a thing. I mean, I knew it was a thing, but I didn't know what all went into it.
Will's little drum set drawing for New Zealand was a silver fern, which is the New Zealand national symbol, and he talked about how fantastic the energy was at Eden Park Stadium. That's all.
Yeah.
All right, so now is the part of the show where, since we don't currently have any kind of sponsor or make revenue, instead we choose to highlight a different charity every month. And this month, for November, we are highlighting Sudan Relief, which you can find at sdnrlf.com. A link to their website will be in our description. The situation in Sudan is right now extremely urgent. There is awful famine sweeping across Sudan and the Nuba Mountain region, in addition to the civil wars that are still currently ongoing. 3 humanitarian groups came together to release a joint statement, and I'll quote that statement now. "We cannot be clearer. Sudan is experiencing a starvation crisis of historic proportions, and yet the silence is deafening." Mm-hmm. If you want to help, Sudan Relief offers many different ways that you can make your donation count. You can offer a generalized donation to their program. You can choose a specific featured cause to donate to, or you can choose a specific gift to donate, like a water pump or medicine or parcels of food. So I urge you to go look at their website, and if you are in a position where you can give something, to do so.
And lastly, a very small spoilers and speculation section here. So if you want to stick around, you can. But actually, it's just one spoiler. That's it.
One spoiler, and
we can speculate a little bit.
A tiny bit. I think you might have some more speculations about this. Anyway, before we get into that, if you're not sticking around, it's been lovely having you.
Yeah. Again, thank you for listening. I promise that we're not going to take a week off anymore. Probably, I can't guarantee that.
Yeah, this wasn't planned. I just got really sick.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what I'm saying. It's very late and I'm very hungry.
We'll never get sick again.
Yeah, exactly.
We promise you this.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to be here forever and always.
Yeah.
As long as Coldplay is around.
That's true.
Yeah.
We're sticking around.
Yeah. Anyway, so thanks for listening. If you don't want to listen to some spoiler and a little bit of speculation, but if you do want to stick around, our spoiler and speculation for this week is Coldplay had just newly registered a song on ASCAP. It's called Wedding Song. Ooh.
Okay, so you're gonna have to remind me, because I know Wedding Song is from something. Is that there's like a clip of that, right?
No. Okay, so what you're thinking is Wedding Bells, okay, which he played at an Apple keynote in 2010 or 2011. And yeah, those wedding bells are ringing up upon that hill, and I just can't.
Okay, so maybe that's not what I'm thinking of, but wasn't there like written on some like set list, or like some track list someone saw a photo of, like written off to the side? Wasn't Wedding Song somewhere?
I think so.
That was on something for like the MX era, maybe.
No, okay, no, never mind. That's not what I was thinking.
It might not be that. I might be wrong about the era. But I think there was something where there was like several things that were like written down by Chris that we've seen a picture of and never released, and Wedding Song was on that list.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, because I know the wedding album was supposed to be a thing. And
no, the wedding album, that's what I'm thinking
of.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, well, I mean, the wedding album was supposed to be a thing, and then it got morphed into... Wait, let me think about the eras real quick. It was supposed to be blah, blah, blah. It really got morphed into what I Had Full of Dreams and Everyday Life, right? Because it wasn't... Sure as hell wasn't Ghost Stories.
I can't remember for sure, but I do think I have a memory of on one of those like blurry pictures of song titles that we just guess about what they are. I feel like I've seen Wedding Song somewhere.
Yeah.
I could be totally wrong, but I feel like I've seen it somewhere out in the ether with Aiko. Like,
I mean, maybe we need I guess that'll be the next week update, or if someone knows.
But we'll try and do some sleuthing maybe.
Yeah, email us at weeklycoldplay@gmail.com.
And next week, maybe this belongs in spoilers and speculations too. Perhaps next week we will have Charlie Brown Thanksgiving to talk about.
We'll see. Also, another thing, I didn't even run this by Daniel, but I'm saying it right now. If you have been to a Coldplay show this year and you want to talk about your experience, I'm going to be putting out kind of like a Google form where you send in like a recording, you say and then I put it all together into this song called One World. No, you send in a recording.
We're going to get more voices than
exactly. That's my goal. I'm going to set out like a Google form, and if you want to be featured on the show, I kind of want to do like a little special episode about their tour this year, like a little tour recap.
Like a retrospective.
Yeah,
I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, since, we both went to a show. I went to the Manila shows. And I just want to see if you went to any show this year. Again, just be on the lookout for it. I'll post it on Twitter and Instagram probably as well.
And in the Discord.
Yeah. That's that. That's a little teaser.
And we'll put the link in our episode description.
Well, I'm not going to make it until
eventually.
After Thanksgiving.
Eventually, we'll put the link in a future episode description.
That's going to be it for us this week. Thank you for listening. We love you.
We do love you.
Yeah. Stay safe out there. I don't know. Don't get too sick.
Drink only the prescribed amount of NyQuil.
Yes, exactly.
Don't buy Four Loko.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I don't know. It's late. I'm hungry. I'm just kind of yapping now.
Goodbye.
No, not yet. Okay. Thank you for listening. My name is Monica.
My name is still Daniel.
And we are Weekly Coldplay. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to Weekly Coldplay. For more Coldplay content from us, check us out on Twitter @Weekly Coldplay and Instagram @weekly.coldplay. That is weekly, Coldplay. And if you like what you hear, give us a follow on wherever you're listening to the podcast on. Thank you again, and we'll be back next week with more Coldplay news.